Um, Hi guys. What I wanted to talk about today was uh, how when we've got mental health issues, and in my case, bipolar and borderline personality disorder, um, we tend to think that we are the epicenter of the universe, and that our our feelings, our emotions, are more important than anybody else's. And in in a way, that's kind of a survival mechanism when you're feeling depressed, because you have to think about yourself and only yourself. Because when you're depressed and you go through suicidal ideations, then that can be really dangerous. So you have to try and muddle through it the best way you can, and if that requires you to seek support from other people, then kind of so be it. I Today I was feeling in a rage, and I knew that I wasn't actually going to go out and do anything really terrible, but I was still feeling that emotion. It's a kind of visceral emotion, rage, and it gets impacted upon when your mind thinks about things that have like really pissed you off, and so it just builds and builds and builds. So I couldn't figure out what phone number, because I've not got the paperwork with me. I couldn't figure out what phone number I needed to ring for the mental health like support team. Um, so what I did was I sent them an email. They've got like a one stop thing for like everything to do with mental health. So I figured it'd get signposted to the right person. And probably about half an hour after I sent the email, um, the uh, the landline started to ring, and something in me just kind of thought it's unusual. The phone doesn't ring that often, and when it does, it's normally somebody asking for money from my late mum. Um, so I never bother answering it. So it went to voicemail. I could hear as I was walking down the stairs that it was the nurse from the mental health team. So I kind of stumbled downstairs, and picked up the phone and like said, I'm I'm uh I'm here." and she said that that I explained what I was going through. And I mean, this is kind of the main problem. I mean, I seriously wasn't thinking about going out and harming anybody. I was fucking pissed off and raging, but I'm not at the stage where I want to get in my car and drive like, I don't know, 60 miles to like kick somebody's head in. I can't, I can't do that. Um, but then I was worried about the because I've actually been self harming quite a bit. Um, and that kind of helps to get rid of some of the rage, some of the anger. As the nurse said on the phone, like anger is like a natural emotion. It's just when it tips over the edge. But like I've my self harm is not not cutting myself. I think that's a teenage, mostly a teenage thing to do. I know some adults do, and forms of self harm can be things like just getting a body full of tattoos. Uh, it's it can be anything like that. My self harm is where I basically punch myself in the face, which I think, and I've been through this before. After I split from my first wife, and I was like house sharing with a couple of guys, and they were out, and I was like going through a rage, and it might have been even started by something as stupid as, I don't know, the computer not working properly, um, and I punched myself so hard in the face that my cheek was swollen, I had a cut lip, and my nose started to bleed. And so I had to say to my housemates when they came back and they saw me that Oh no, no, I went out and I got jumped and mugged, um, which sounded much better than telling grown men that you punch yourself in the face to get rid of your anger. Um, and but anyway, the nurse said she was going to speak to it's the phone call today. She was going to speak to the psychiatrist on Monday and hopefully get me some emotional first aid um, by phone, which might help. Um, I, at the moment, I'm kind of massively up or down. I I'm not I'm not normal at the moment. I just I think because I'd missed my meds, my my manic depressive meds, the quetiapine, Seroquel if you're American, and I'd missed it for a few days. I did take it last night, but I think that's why I'm kind of getting hyper and everything, and I'm like taking risks. But yeah, go back to the main topic of the video, not being the center of the universe. I I think that I am the center of the universe a lot. I think I think that I can get people back on my side. That I can that people should listen. Is that these feelings of being grandiose? It's like I why won't people listen to me? They should listen to me. Listen what I'm saying, and it all makes sense. And basically, um, they should come back into the fold, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because basically that's the way people are feeling. But I'm the center of the universe, so but I'm not the center of the universe, and none of us are. You can you can be massively loved by your partner, your husband, your wife, um, but you're not the center of the universe. Um, it's a very hard lesson to learn. But the problem is, it's one of those lessons where I am not. I know that I'm not going to learn it. I'm going to learn it for a very brief point. It's not so much learning as it's in your face. Right, you're not the center of the universe. Your partner hates you, or your ex-partner, and you've got absolutely nothing. Your friends are sick and tired of you whinging, and it's a really hard lesson. I mean, today I was out with a friend. We went walking around Burley Park, which is quite close to where I live. It's actually a long way from where he lived. I think it took him about an hour to get here. So next time we decide to go for a walk, we're going to do it closer to his side. Um, and for like a couple of hours, I kind of, although he asked how things were, and I told him. Um, but for the most part, we were just having conversations about football, about architecture, and and just and occasionally we'd kind of dip into the fact that we miss our exes, that kind of thing. And but he was he actually helped me out quite a lot. And and I've been speaking to my other friend on via text, and he's quite um trying to be quite positive, and it's difficult for me to feel positive about the future. Really virtually impossible, in fact. The last few months have just like battered me, extremely. They've battered me, um, and I'm trying to see the positives in things, but at the moment I can't. I'm really struggling. My sister suggested that I should move up country to where closer to where she lives, and that way, you know, she could be there for me if things went bad. either with the depression or with the mania. At the moment, I, there's been so much suicidal ideation, that even to the point of making plans. I was like starting to uh, clear stuff up and pack stuff away so that when they discovered my body, that basically whoever came in the house to do a house clearance wouldn't have to work so hard. I mean, it helps that I've got quite a lot of stuff packed away already in preparation for the move. But but it kind of I, I, I kind of thought, okay, moving up to my sister lives in Leeds, so Leeds is a massive fucking city. It's huge. Compared to Peterborough, um, the I I just figured, yeah, I could move up there. I mean, I've been barred from the um village pub, and that was down to bipolar. That was because on a particular evening I hadn't really drank that much alcohol, and but I just thought that um, I was more important than them. And to be fair, I still think that anyway. Well, I'm more intelligent than them. This is the landlord and landlady, and so I was trying to give them some advice, and it obviously didn't come out right, and so they barred me. Fair enough, bar me, but at bar me, that's another word as well. Um, but I would like to be closer to like to a local pub, um, that just contained guys that just go in there just to have a drink and a chat about football or life or politics or anything like that. Which is what the Hit or Miss pub used to be like in Stamford until they ran it into the ground, the brewery, and then I mean they ran it into the ground because basically they wanted to build houses on the piece of land, but that's another story anyway. Um, but yeah, thinking about moving up to Leeds, um, and I mean that is kind of that's kind of doable. I mean, you know, is because the houses are cheaper up there than what they are in say Ely, which is another place I was looking at. I mean, you're looking at 450 quid a month versus like almost 700 quid a month, and to be fair, I can afford the £450 a month. I can't really afford 700 quid a month. I can't justify spending that much money on a place to live. Um, the One of the only things that I'm kind of a bit concerned about is that I've got quite a few mates down here, and Leeds is it's about a 2 hour drive away, and you know I, if I go to a a local pub and I get in with a good crowd, then I would make new friends. But then I'd still miss like my old friends. Um, I mean that's another thing. Like I'm not the center of the universe because my friends would probably wish me well, and then like a month or two down the line, they'd pretty much forget about me. And they'd be talking about me in the past tense, and yeah. So we are not the center of the universe. We're not the center of anybody's universe. And if somebody actually tells you that, says that you're the center of my universe, they are talking bollocks. They either they are emotionally weak or they're lying to you. Simple as that. Because that somebody is emotionally weak when and I should know because I've been emotionally weak for quite a while. When your partner leaves you, you kind of do everything you want to get them back because you're so emotionally weak that you can't see a life without that person. But you go into the relationship being emotionally weak and thinking this person is the center of my universe, and I revolve around them. Um, and then of course the other one is telling you that you're the center of their universe because you've done something wrong, and you're basically trying to. One of my friends, ex-friends, guy called Brendan. He was a womanizer, and he would come out with bullshit like that to his wife if she discovered that he. I don't think she wanted to see like the full signs of what he'd been doing. So he was quite manipulative and quite good at getting out of that whole um being caught out. And I mean, he would lie. He would lie like a fucking well laid carpet. And she'd believe him. She's like eat it all up. But yes, telling somebody that they're the center of your universe, like I say, it's either weakness or bullshit. You can say that you're massively in love with somebody, that they mean the world to you and all that kind of stuff. But the center of the universe thing is. But for the purposes of this video, I'm talking about me, and when we believe that we are the center of the universe, and we're not. We seriously, we're just not. And it's been a really really tough lesson. And like I say, it's a lesson that has been slammed in my face, not only just in relationships, um relationships with women, but also in like friendships and in work situations. And yeah, it's one of those things that I'm still trying to come to terms with, still trying to move forward. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be very difficult for me to move on. I think I've said that before. So yeah, um, and it's horrible for you if you've been dumped and then you can't, especially if you got a well, it's horrible for everybody, so I'm not going to say especially, but it's horrible if you've got these mental health issues that basically either fear of abandonment or uh, believing that you are like this superior person that everybody should bow down to you and everything. And it's really difficult because you constantly realize when each successive relationship just ends, as they inevitably do. I mean, I think I my most serious relationship after I split up from my first wife um, lasted about a year, and during that time there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of arguing and everything, um, and then eventually, like my partner at the time basically ended the relationship, said she couldn't deal with it. I think I spoke. I think I spoke last night or the night before about that, and about how she had a previous partner who had BPD and bipolar. Um, my second wife, the most uh, recent long term relationship that I don't just long term by anything a year or over, I suppose. Um, she lasted like three and a bit years before it just became too much for her. And this is the problem that I'm trying to talk about. When you find out that you're not the center of that person's universe because you've been deluding yourself for weeks, months, years, it kind of even with my first wife, even though the marriage was so irretrievably damaged by me, but also by my ex first wife. Even then, it was still difficult to come to terms with the fact that I wasn't a significant person in her life, and it's a tough lesson. I mean, I what I will do is next video, because I'm just hitting 20 minutes. I don't want to talk any longer than that. The next video, I'm going to talk about my coping mechanisms that I've advised people, not only just friends, but when I was counselling people. You're not supposed to give people advice, but you kind of suggest ideas that might be beneficial. And I'm going to be talking about. I'll talk about those in the next video. In fact, what I will do is write that down, because I'm sure last night I said I was going to talk about something else and I can't remember what it was. So anyway, look, thank you for watching. You can see I've not killed myself. If you've watched last night's video, I'm going to sign off now. I'm listening to the Sleaford Mods. I'm going to read a book. I'm actually going to have like a glass of beer, and I'm going to chill out. So I I mean I would suggest that you try to do the same. But as always, if you've got any if, if you want to talk to somebody, I'm pretty much always online anyway. So just drop me a message. But I will I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.